Hello and welcome to MyVA Dayton, coming to you from Dayton, Ohio. This is the show where we talk to veterans in the Central Ohio region to share their stories and share what's happening at the Dayton VA. I'm Scott Lease, your host with co-host Greg Tucker. And we have with us today a veteran from the Dayton, Ohio region, Garvis Leak. And he is an Air Force veteran and business owner. Welcome, Garvis.
Welcome, Scott, and thank you guys for having me.
We're glad to have you here today. So, as I said, Garvis is a business owner. He is president of Paradigm Shift Life Coaching here in Dayton. He has also been a coach of youth 6 through 17 as a golf coach, correct?
That is correct.
And he is retired from the Air Force after 26 years. Again, welcome, Garvis.
Thank you.
Before we get to know more about you, we're going to put you to the test.
Okay.
It's time! That's right. It's time to play Don't Tell Me. I think I know that. This is a game that we play with all of our guests to test their knowledge of military trivia. It's also a game where listeners can play along to see if their minds are mired in mounds of military minutia as ours are. Are you ready to take the challenge, Garvis?
Scott, I am ready.
All right, so here's your first question. Number 1, how many active duty Air Force are currently serving? Now, you are a personnel specialist by trade from the Air Force, so you've got to stay on top of this. Have you got any clue as to how many Air Force active duty there are? Your first question, would it be A, 143,000, B, 243,000, C, 334,000, or D, 434,000?
Well, Scott, since we had the drawdown, I'm going to go with C.
C, that's correct. 334,000. Actually, to be more precise, it's 334,600 is a closer number as to how many are currently serving. And that's according to an Air Force Times article recently published. And you're right. That's part of the Air Force's effort to right-size the number to reduce the force and stabilize the force. Now, here is your second question. What is the nickname for the best pilot? Would it be A, a shooter, B, a Top Gun, C, an ace, or D, Snoopy?
Since I was part of a fighter squadron in Misawa, Japan, I'm going to say ace.
Ace is the correct answer. An ace isn't just a good pilot. They are the best combat pilots. An ace is actually a pilot who has shot down 5 or more enemy aircraft. The top jet ace in the U.S. Air Force history is Joseph C. McConnell, who was actually a triple ace who shot down 16 MiG fighters during the Korean War over a 4-month period. Bagging 3 of his combat missions of the war, his record still stands today. Now, here's your third and final question. Going back to your days of basic training, do you remember that? It's been a few years now.
Somewhat.
Okay, so thinking back and what it was to be like back in basic training, what is the name of the flight officer technician? Would it be A, the flight secretary, B, a paper pusher, C, the house mouse, or D, the Mouseketeer?
I'm going to go with C.
C is the correct answer. House mouse. House mouse is one of the young folks who are going through basic training who actually becomes the technical assistant to the military training instructor. They basically run the office there for the flight and help with any paperwork that needs to be done by the MTI. So, Greg, what has Garvis won for playing today?
Well, Garvis, for playing today, you have won a set of VA industrial strength chip clips designed by NASA's aerospace engineers to keep your chips crisp on your next stellar space journey or whenever or wherever you may be traveling in the near future. compliments of the Dayton VA.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll hear more from Air Force veteran Garvis Leak about what he's doing today and with his business Paradigm Shift.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone,
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
but treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
Our veterans put everything on the line to protect our freedom. We may never be able to repay them for their sacrifice, but we can show them just how much we appreciate all they've done. Every day, hundreds of people just like you volunteer to help our veterans. You can help by simply sharing your time, lending a warm smile, a supportive hand, or a sympathetic ear to someone who needs it. Everyone can do something to make our veterans know how much we appreciate their service. What will you do?
And we're back, and we're talking with Garvis Leak, an Air Force veteran from the Dayton area and business owner here. Garvis, tell us a little bit about Paradigm Shift Life Coaching. What is that business?
Paradigm Shift Life Coaching is a compass for life coaching, which deals with resilience skills, management skills, how to become a better you, to also coincide with financial wellness as far as getting out of debt, staying out of debt, learning some of the basic fundamentals of finances as far as managing your money, and entails as far as building a framework not only for you but also your family.
How did you come about becoming a life coach?
When I was getting ready to retire, I talked to a lot of my mentors and just trying to find something different for me as far as military. Talk to my family, spouse, and talking about doing, say, just coaching in general. However, something higher say, you need to go into this field as far as coaching, as far as life coaching. So I did some more research, took a couple of classes in life coaching and also the financial wellness part. And from there, made sure I received all my certifications from the state of Ohio, like minority business, EDGE, veteran-owned small business, service-disabled veteran-owned small business. Want to make sure I was certified before I went out. And then from there, in 2013, I launched my business.
Okay. And just so I understand, was that something similar or transferable that you got from the military?
Yes, it was transferable.
Okay.
When I was, as far as one of my last assignments, I was the military personnel flight superintendent, and I was working with the Wright-Patterson, like a lot of airmen all over the base, and plus my deployments, just working with them, has kind of helped me kind of transition using those skills from the military into my current business now.
So do you help a lot of veterans now?
Sometimes I do, yes. Sometimes I work with a lot of the young people, but one thing I've been trying to get in with the Dayton VA to not only showcase my skills, but since I'm a veteran and I know what some of them are going through, I will also be able to reach out and help my comrades.
Sure. Tell us different ways that you do help veterans.
I do one-on-one counseling. As for not one-on-one coaching, let me say coaching instead of counseling. Coaching and just talking to them, see where they are at as far as the financial part. We'll look at their finance, plan a roadmap for their finances, and we talk about military. Since I'm 26 years in the Air Force and did a lot of my tour duties with the Army, I kind of relate to a lot of the veterans who are Army and the places I've been and the combat skills training that I received when I was on active duty. So I talked to them about the life part, the financial part, and also the camaraderie part.
And what do you find the most challenging and inspiring? What do you find the most challenging when talking to these folks, and how do you inspire others? What's the most rewarding aspect of this work?
Well, the most challenging part of it is people asking for help. That's the most challenging. And once they decide that, hey, I do need help, or raise their hand and say, hey, let's talk, then that's the rewarding part comes at once the light bulb clicks on and they say, okay, yeah, I need to say fix this part of my life as far as the life coaching. And as far as finance, yeah, I need to cut up these credit cards, stop using these credit cards. And that helps me, that helps me see that, hey, this individual is fully committed to what he wants to do. And not only for himself, but also for his family.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Because you want everything to transcend into the next generation, not living the same thing that over and over again.
Right. Cutting up credit cards, that'd be pretty hard to do for some folks. I know it would be for me.
Well, it's not hard because I have scissors.
Oh, so you bring it to your coaching sessions?
I bring it to the coaching session.
That service is free, right?
That service is free. But sometimes, like you said, a lot of people have that emotional attach to those credit cards. Like, this is my first one. I have to keep this. And they fail to realize, okay, that's charging you 20% interest. You got to look at that thing and don't take those things as for the materialistic part of it, but say, okay, I just want to be better and become a better you. And we go from there.
Okay. If I can ask you, Garvis, but we're going to transition a little bit here. And that is because you had said you had retired from the military. What was your motivation for joining the military?
I joined the military in 1984. My good brother and good friend, he was in the Air Force. And, I couldn't find a job. I just went to college and couldn't find a good paying job because, when I was growing up, it was like, okay, get your degree, find a good job, save money, get rich. Well, that didn't happen. But I decided to go in the military to get the training and also to travel. And I did both. Not only just traveling, but I met a lot of friends who I'm still friends here today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you chose to make it a career, and that is if you go over a tour, then a career, 20 plus years, then something inspired you to continue on. Tell us about that.
I think the most inspiring thing that could me for continuing on when I was at Misawa, Japan, and I met Chief Master Sergeant Air Force Barnes, and just talking to him, and it was a brief conversation, but just talking to him, looking how he carried himself in a professional way, and just saying, okay, I want to be like him, and from there, it just skyrocketed.
So explain to our listeners who and what the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force is. I don't think everyone knows what that position is.
Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force is the highest enlisted rank someone can achieve as far as in the Air Force, enlisted part. The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force worked directly with the Chief of Staff, and he is there to work for the enlisted personnel. Making sure that the enlisted force receive, the kudos and making sure that they are not left behind. And Chief Master Sergeant Thomas Barnes, was the first African-American Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force for a long time. So, meeting him, learning about the Tuskegee Airmen also, that was just a eye-opener in order for me to move forward and say, okay, this is something I want to do and make sure I take care of the airmen also.
So with all of your experiences that did transfer far as to opening a business when you came back into the world, into civilian life?
Yes, but it took a while. I retired in 2011, and when you retire, you say, okay, I want to get a government job, be a GS 13, 14, make that good money and retire after, say, another 20 years. But like I said, that was not my calling. You got to be prepared to find out your calling. And from there, I tried to do a contractor for like 6 months. I was not feeling it. I was in the same program when I was on active duty. And it was the same, we were doing the same thing. Only thing was different was you didn't have to wear the uniform. And I was like, nope, this is not for me. So that's when I decided to move forward and become an entrepreneur.
But you really did enjoy the Air Force. You made a career out of it. Tell us, what's your most exciting assignment in the Air Force? I mean, I know you spent some time in Operation Enduring Freedom in Iraq and Afghanistan. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm going to pause you for a minute. My most important time in the Air Force was Germany, Stuttgart, Germany. That's where my daughter was born. And also Misawa, Japan. That's where my son was born. So those are my, highlight or most cherished moments as far as military. Now, getting back to the Enduring Freedom, that was part of just taking care of the airmen. I was there as far as, personnel. You are the first one in and the last one out because you're accountable for everyone. And you also not, and a lot of people fail to realize being in personnel, you are the one who goes and talk to the commander. Someone is killed in action, missing in action, all those things. So Enduring Freedom, it was my time to go. And, when it's your time to go, you go. You just make sure that you have good family support around you to make that commitment. And I did.
Well, thanks for that information. Hey, we're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll hear more from Garvis and about his experience with the Dayton VA Medical Center.
I was in the military, and I didn't know that when I left, I was eligible for health care through the VA. I thought you had to be disabled or have been wounded. Another vet told me I should check it out. Now I have the care I need at the Dayton VA.
Don't wait another day to see how the VA may help you.
I'm a vet, and it's MyVA. Make it your VA today.
To enroll, call 937-268-6511, extension 5336, or visit dayton.va.gov.
When I left the military, I had an issue with my hearing. I never had it checked then, but it continued to get worse as the years went on. I went to the VA. They helped me receive a disability rating so that I was eligible to receive care at the Dayton VA.
Don't wait another day to see how the VA may help you.
I'm a vet, and it's my VA. Make it your VA today.
To enroll, call 937-268-6511, extension 5336, or visit dayton.va.gov.
And we're back with Air Force veteran Garvis Leak. Tell us, Garvis, how did you learn about the Dayton VA?
When I retired, and you have some of the VA representative was at Wright-Patterson, and just talked to, like I said, I talk a lot to my mentors, and they say make sure you go down there and get registered with the VA because you have the base hospital there, but make sure you get registered with the VA and make sure that they have your appointments down there. Because they are there for you. So make sure that you go down there, and I listen and went forward from there.
Yeah, well, obviously you did. You took that advice. But you have more than 20 years of military service. You've got the benefit of TRICARE for life when you retire from the military. Why do you choose to go to the VA for care?
The main reason I go down to the VA for care is the veterans, because they are family. And why not go somewhere where they taking care of family? That's how I see it. So I go to the VA, I know they're going to take care of me. If they are unable to, provide a service, then I go to community care. Then they, resources out. And I just enjoy going there. Yeah, I know like Wright-Patterson, I know they're there for the active duty. And not saying the veterans are second class. However, I want to go somewhere that I know that I can get the service I need and move forward.
Right. I'm retired Air Force too.
Yes.
And when I retired from the military, I didn't really take advantage of the VA right away. And it's kind of like you talked about, when I retired from the Air Force, I thought, well, I've got TRICARE for life. I'm always going to have that care. Though when I first went in, all the retirees went to the clinic. As time went on, they were, I don't want to say pushed aside, because that's not it. They were offered care elsewhere because the manpower was so limited for the clinics that they had to take care of the active duty first. That takes priority. That's their mission. But they still got care, but now on the economy. And I agree with you. Going to the VA is going back to that place that's like going home. You're treated by many of the employees there are veterans, and it's in a veteran environment. It's not just going down to the hospital down the street. It is actually coming to a place where you feel like you're part of the organization. It's like coming home for a lot of folks. Tell us, do you ever talk to other veterans who have TRICARE that maybe don't know about their options with the VA, or have just recently learned about the VA? What do you tell them?
I explain to everyone, especially the veterans and young and old, if they say serve 4 years or serve 20 plus years, I say make sure that you contact the VA and make sure that you go there, get registered, and you go from there. But make sure that you go, and don't say, hey, the VA is not for me. This. I tell them, hey, you earned it. Make sure you go and use those services. And I tell the individuals sometime in my coaching sessions, veterans, and I walk down the list with them and tell them, make sure you go, and you go from there. I say, don't neglect these services, and go from there. Yes.
So you primarily go to the Dayton VA campus, correct? You don't go to any of the CBOCs?
Yes, Dayton VA campus. Okay. That's correct.
Tell us, what, if you can, please, what you find different and amazing, really, about the campus there at the Dayton VA.
There are several things. I mean, they got a good cafeteria. Starbucks is good as far as getting there. But like I said before, it is going back to people who's going to take care of you. That's the main thing. They're going to take care of you. They're going to make sure that you have your best interest at heart for what you need to get done. And you go from there. So, and the place is always clean. And I just enjoy it. Just going there for my appointments. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And plus you get reimbursed also if you drive so far. So it's a win-win situation.
What would you tell an apprehensive veteran who's on the fence saying, no, I'm not going to use the VA because I have my own health insurance?
The great thing about that is everyone has choices. And you cannot say force them. So I just give them the information. And when I give them the information or tell someone about it, I say, hey, like this, don't knock it until you try it. So when you go down there, get registered, and you go from there. And if you have your own health insurance, that's great. But if you're a veteran and some things that say you don't have to pay for versus your own health insurance that you have to pay for, it's kind of, I'm going to say, it's not common sense because everyone don't have common sense. But it is a part that you can understand that, okay, hey, let me weigh the odds of what I'm paying for and what the VA offers.
That's something that a lot of people don't know, is that with VA healthcare, there are no annual premiums. Even with TRICARE, you have annual premiums, albeit not much, but you still have an annual premium, co-pays, et cetera, with everything. The VA is one of those things that, as you said, it's additional options. Not everybody understands that it doesn't cost you a thing to exercise or look into, investigate those options. And who doesn't want more options? So yes, we encourage everyone to look into finding out more about VA healthcare if they're a veteran. And you can find out more information at www.va.gov. We want to thank our guest, Air Force veteran Garvis Leak, again for taking time to tell his story and share his experience with the Dayton VA Medical Center.
Well, gentlemen, I say thank you for having me out here, and we will continue to get the word out for all our veterans so they can participate at the Dayton VA, and they can also they on the fence. They can give me a call so I can talk to them. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Garvis.
The Dayton VA changed my life. There was a time I was jobless and homeless, didn't know where to turn for help. I felt like there was no hope for me. Then I learned about the Dayton VA. They helped me find the help I needed to get back on track. I received support, got a job, found a place to live. I got my life back.
Don't wait another day to see how the VA may help you.
I'm a vet, and it's MyVA. Make it your VA today.
To enroll, call 937-268-6511, extension 5336, or visit dayton.va.gov.
You know, Greg, not too long ago, I went to see my primary care physician about some shoulder pain I was suffering from.
Yeah, Scott, tell me more.
Well, after an x-ray and an MRI, they had found that I had torn a rotator cuff muscle. And fortunately, it was not bad enough that it warranted surgery, but the pain was still unbearable. And my mobility had been severely limited because of the injury. I could not put my arm over my head or behind my back. I'm telling you, it was killing me. That's when my doc sent me to receive physical therapy at the Dayton VA Medical Center. I thought, this is going to do me any good? How? I've torn a muscle. How is exercising an injury going to make me feel better? Well, the therapist at the Dayton VA put me to work with stretching and strengthening exercises to put me back on the road to recovery. I didn't know that physical therapy, of all things, could actually help movement restorement and help with the function if you are disabled or injured in a disease. If you're living with or recovering from an injury, illness, or chronic condition that limits your mobility and independence, the Dayton VA can help. Their physical, occupational, and movement therapists combine therapeutic exercise, consulting, education, and training to help you improve your health and quality of life. Services at the Dayton VA include pain relief and joint mobilization, movement and exercise therapies to improve your strength, endurance, balance, and coordination, mobility assessment and training with wheelchairs, scooters, and walking devices, life skill training and activities to help you maintain the highest level of independence and functionality, aquatic therapy to manage chronic pain, and evaluation and treatment for a wide range of medical, orthopedic, psychological, and neurological conditions. These services are available at the Dayton VA Medical Center campus, as well as the Middletown and Springfield C-Box. If you're in pain and ready for treatment, contact your primary care provider today for a referral. You won't be sorry you did. We want to say thanks again to our special guests for taking time today to share their story. We truly enjoy hearing stories from veterans from across the region and learning more about how they found care through the Dayton VA Medical Center. And as always, we want to thank our listeners for joining us and remind them, if they are a veteran and are not enrolled, to enroll with the Veterans Health Administration to receive health care benefits through the Dayton VA Medical Center. It's easy and it doesn't cost a thing. You just need to be a veteran. The simplest way to start enrollment is to call our enrollment and eligibility office at 937-268-6511, extension 4105. They can schedule an appointment for you to come to the Dayton campus or help make an appointment at one of the surrounding community-based outpatient clinics located at Springfield, Richmond, Lima, and Middletown. Again, that number is 937-268-6511, extension 4105. Veterans may also enroll by visiting www.choose.va.gov/health. While there, you can choose from applying online or by phone or by mail. It's just that simple, really. As I said before, it doesn't cost a thing to apply. So what are you waiting for? Call us today. Or if you know of a veteran who is not enrolled, have them call to start taking advantage of this benefit. If you're a veteran, it's your VA. Sign up today. Join us again for another episode of MyVA Dayton with the Dayton VA Medical Center. Our episodes drop the 1st and 15th of each month. I'm Scott Leese with your co-host Greg Tucker. Thanks again for listening to MyVA Dayton.